Hello, lovely listeners. Today I have the wonderful Florentina, and I'm probably going to say her surname wrong, Gionea.
Yeah, you're very close. It's
Thereabouts. Okay, cool. Florentina is from Romania originally, but is currently living in Bucharest and soon to be living in Dubai. So I'm sure she'll tell us a little bit about that. And I was intrigued with Florentina because she's a spiritual mentor for leaders, and she helps people create a blissful life, making a bigger impact and building thriving communities. And I am all about, with the madness of the last 3 years, I am all about bringing it back to the community, stuff this one world government and all that crap. Let's bring it back to communities, because that's how we all thrive, and that's how we can just be with each other and be in better health, better state of mind, reduce that anxiety and all the crap that's going on. And yeah, I mean, Florentina has been featured on Fox TV, TEDx, Medium and Thrive Global. And I was having a look at your website, Florentina, and you said your journey really began back in 2011 when you made the brave decision to step into the world of entrepreneurship, and you bought your first beauty salon, which is obviously completely different to what you're doing now. But unfortunately, fate had other ideas for you, or fortunately, should we say. So welcome, Florentina. It's an absolute joy to have you, looking so glamorous. She's got a beautiful backdrop for those of you who are listening to this and not watching it. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you for inviting me. I love the name of your podcast, Never Settle. I think I'm the right person to talk about this. And also, I love your voice. As I told you, from the moment I listened to you for the first time, I said, oh my God, this voice sounds like an angel. I need to talk to this woman.
Well, thank you for that. I always think I've got a really monotone, boring voice, but obviously you hear something different. So I don't think anybody likes their own voice, do they? And I just had the pleasure of meeting Leon, which is Florentina's 1-year-old boy, who's absolutely gorgeous. And he was going to be on the podcast with us, but Florentina has decided not to. Anyway, so Florentina,
I promise when he will start to talk, if he talks like his mama, we're gonna make a podcast only with him.
oh, brilliant. That I will tune into. So Florentina, I always love my listeners and viewers to hear the backstory of my guests, and in particular, because I always, because when people all of a sudden go from one business or career or thing in life to something completely different, like Michael Singer. I don't know if you're a Michael Singer fan, but in terms of what he just wanted to be a hippie in the woods, and he ended up owning a multi-billion-pound software company, which is absolutely bonkers. So I love, those transitions in people's life. So can you tell us a little bit about the younger Florentina, although you're very young now? How old are you? Can I ask?
Yeah, thank you. Do I look young?
Yeah.
Actually, I look this young because of the energy work that I do. And now I'm in the process of losing weight. So I don't know how it's in stones or pounds, but I'm going to say in kilos. So I gained over 14 kilos after my pregnancy, and I already lost 8 in 1 month and something.
Wow.
And I'm transitioning to being even skinnier. That's going to mean I'm going to look even younger. And this appearance of mine is given to the fact that I work with energy. So actually, I'm 36 years old. I'm going to be 37 next year. So I'm not that young, but I look very young.
Yeah, you do. I would have said late 20s. So amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bloody hell. Right. Okay. Well, I mean, I've been called a lot younger than I am, because I'm actually going to be 50 in a few weeks, believe it or not.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Happy anniversary.
So can you give us a bit of your backstory in terms of, I don't know if you want to start in 2011 when you created your own business, or whether you want to go before that. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I have to go a bit in my childhood because it's very important. I grew up in a very poor environment. So basically, we're living in the countryside. We had the richness of nature, of community, of people helping each other. But in terms of money, in terms of mindset and education, we were quite poor. And the worst thing it was that I was living in an abusive relationship because my parents actually were having a lot of fights. My father was really violent and he was beating everybody, mom, kids, it didn't matter. So basically, I grew up with some very high wounds inside me.
Mm.
What really saved me is the fact that I was really good at school. And mom really, really pushed us, all of us, to have great grades and to learn, to be able to be in school and have great results. And this somehow formed my perception and my way in life that I have to succeed because I had great results in school. That means I can make it in other areas. So I was moving through school, high school, and then I left to the university with only 50 euros in my pocket per month and a bag of clothes. That's all I had. And I went to the capital city where I barely knew anybody. So from there, I started to take college, and I was passionate about TV because when I was little, I was watching TV and I was like, I'm going to be a TV star. Everybody's going to look at me. I'm going to be a movie star. So I was envisioning myself being on TV, being famous, all those stuff. And my mom told me when I was in kindergarten, she asked me what I want to be when I grow up. And I said, I want to be a doctor. And now if I look into my life, all those things somehow applies, but in a different way. Because I was working in television. I finished college. After college, it's university. You finish university, and I finished journalism. So I went to work in television, and I was like, I'm gonna smash it. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I speak well, and I went to give a test. They have to choose some new presenters for news, and I was preparing for 1 year for that. And guess what? In that day, I couldn't read 3 words from the prompter. I couldn't. My mouth was, I don't know what happened. They gave me 3 shots and I missed all of them. And they said, okay, I'm sorry, we cannot take you.
Wow.
So I was, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Then I moved to a written press. And meanwhile, something very terrible happened. Oh my God, this is very emotional. My mom was so hard beaten by my father that she had to leave the town. And she had to come to me because the city was very far and she didn't have anywhere else to go. And she came with my 2 little sisters. So now, from the single woman trying to make her way in life, I'm the leader of a family that now I have to lead and I have to provide for, because my mom took around 3 years to adapt in the city and she couldn't be able to get a job. And that was about 3 years. So it was very, very hard for me. Then in this pressure that I had, I say, okay, I have to do something to make more money. So I take this pressure out of me and I create something for my mom to work. And I bought that beauty salon. And when I went to buy it, I didn't pay attention to the paperwork. I didn't pay attention to the accountant papers to see if they are all right. And I remember that I didn't even took an authorized person to sign the documents. So we are just writing on some papers. So basically I did everything wrong. And in that day, I remember instead of taking the documents properly, I was just arranging my hair in the salon, being happy that I'm going to have a new business. So I was, oh my God, if the business owner that I'm now, if I look at myself then, oh my God, I wouldn't given myself any chance. So what happened is that I took that salon to give it to my mom, and she has something to do. We have clients, they get money, and somehow I release myself from that pressure. So the reason that I have started that business wasn't the right one. What happened is that in 2 months, everything crashed. We have discovered from the accountant that the company has around maybe $100,000 in debt. And it was like a big scandal between us and those ladies, because we didn't expect us to give us a company with so much debt. And they came, they took everything from inside. My mom was very sick at that moment. I wasn't there with her. She had to go to the hospital to recover. And it was a very huge shock, because I borrowed those money to do that business. There are 10,000 euros, dollars. It's actually the same. And I was just in debt. People that were paying membership to do massages or manicure or whatever they had in the salon, they're like, we want our money back because you are not providing for us. So basically I had to borrow another money to give it back to those people. So it was very, very hard. We went to court. The court didn't decide anything concluded. So I ended up with minus the business and minus the money. The emotional shock was so strong on me. But I didn't realize it at the moment, because I had to be strong for everybody in the family, because everybody was in shock. So one day I prayed to God and I said, God, you have to take me out of this, because something wrong is going to happen. So you have to take me out of this. So some guy that I was dating at that time asked me, have you ever heard of a shaman? I said, no, what's a shaman? I'm really curious to know what's a shaman. I said, I'm going to recommend you to somebody. So I went to see this guy, and there was a guy therapist and a girl therapist, both also shamans, and I have started to work with them on spirituality. And that business loss was my spiritual awakening moment. It was very hard and very tough, but actually meeting those people, it just shifted my life and my world completely. So this is actually somehow the beginning of my story.
Wow. I'm sorry about what you went through with your father. That sounds horrific. Having experienced physical abuse myself in my last partnership, which was only last year, like it's never happened to me until last year. I have some sense of what you went through. It's so confusing, because you're like, this person's supposed to love me. What the hell? And it's, obviously there's way more to it than that. And I know that there's a lot of demons in these people that, act out, and they've got their own shit going on. But that must have been so hard, especially with your mom going through that, and then you having to basically be the breadwinner. And then £100,000 or dollars of debt. What happened with that? Did that stay with the people that you bought the business off?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that, because we went to court and we just sued those people with the less money that we had for investment. We paid a lawyer, and there is no concluded, even today, result on that. So the company is not assigned to my mom's name, and is not either assigned to those ladies. So basically just vanished away everything. And I think in one hand it was better like this, because if I would have to pay that also, oh my God.
Yeah. Wow. So, okay, so that was 2011, and you had that for 2 months before it all started to crumble. I mean, you've got some strength, Florentina, to be able to do all of that and look after your mom, look after your sisters, somehow save the money up to buy a business, or borrow the money, or whatever you did, and then pay all the customers back. So what happened then? Because you then had to spend all your money on court. So, and then you were introduced to this shaman. So what was the sort of time span between, like, literally having no money left by the sounds of it, to what came next?
what came next, it was even harder now that I remember. Then I didn't see it that hard, maybe because of that strength that you see. But then it happened that I wanted to take a job. I still had my job in that online newspaper, so I could have some income from there. But soon that contract will be ended, so I had to do something. So I started to apply for jobs. I applied everywhere. I applied from selling in the streets donuts to Google, and nobody hired me. And I remember that day, some of them told me you are overqualified. Some of them didn't say anything. And I was like, okay, now I'm upset. Now I'm going to do and create my own company. So from now on, I'm going to employ people. I didn't know what I was doing. I just went, I set the company, because here it's very easy to have a company. You can make it like in 3 days. So I set the company and I did nothing with it for like maybe 6 months. But I knew I had a company. What happened is that I started to work a lot with energy, with meditation, to discover myself. I have done a lot of work in forgiving my father, and now I feel I can talk about him with detachment instead of being hurt and crying or look what happened to me. I understood somehow his circumstances and the things that he went through. And I have started an online blog, and I have started to write on that blog. This was 2013 or something like that. And I was just writing every day an article about a vegan diet, vegan recipes. I even started to film myself in the kitchen. I didn't have enough space in my home, so I went to a friend's house and I said, yeah, I need your kitchen because I need to film some recipes. Somehow, now looking back, it was just a download coming to me and telling me and guiding me what to do, because I had no business mentors, I had nothing. So I remember a particular moment with this friend in the car, and I told him, hey, I'm doing this for 6 months and nothing happens with my blog. I need to find something to monetize this thing, because I cannot go like this anymore. I need to have money. So what happened, I found a machinery called quantum analyzer. I don't know if you know it. It's like you have an electrode that you hold in your hand that just scans your energy and gives you your vitamins, your minerals, or your all things that you have in the body, measures your energy, aura, chakra.
Yeah.
So I got one of those things, and I started to give consultation to people. But while I was giving consultation to people, because I was developing myself spiritually, I wasn't looking on what the screen was saying. I was just reading for them. So basically, I was reading in their field, but I didn't know I'm doing that. And from there, I started to develop nutritional programs, detox boot camps, cooking events, where you come and you cook. For example, we had raw vegan cakes. So you basically come to our workshop. We make a small cake for you, and at the end you just take it home. So you have the experience to make the cake, and also have that I don't know how it's called in English, but you can remake the cake as many times as you want, because you have the pot. I don't know how it's called in English. That ring that you put the cake inside to bake it. Listeners, your following is going to text us and tell us the name. So from there, I have started to monetize, and it wasn't that easy, because I was monetizing, but just enough to pay the bills, and that's it. I wasn't growing a lot, because I had this vibration of television, of press, and I was already knew people in press area. I have started to be on TV a lot. So basically, I was having TV appearances, I was cooking in the shows, I was doing all those stuff, but still no money.
Just hold you there. How did you, like, you make everything sound so easy, like it all just happened, but and maybe it did, but like one minute you're in court, and then the next minute you're doing a blog about vegan food, and then you've got this machine that you're giving people readings for, and then you're on TV. How did all of that sort of play out?
Yeah. So after I set my company where nobody was hiring me,
Yeah.
I found a place to get hired on marketing. But I wasn't that good at marketing, and I knew I wasn't that good. In my office, it was in Marriott hotel, a five-star hotel. My bosses were like big bosses, and I was having an office with them there and so on. But I wasn't fulfilled. I felt like I'm losing my time. Every morning I was waking up pissed off that I have to get dressed and go to my office in a five-star hotel. Can you imagine that? So every day I was going furious at work and trying to open the door and say, today I'm gonna quit. And when I was entering the office, nobody was there because I was the first coming in, and the bosses were coming later. So basically, there is nobody to give them my resign application. So until they were coming, I was chill and I wasn't doing it anymore. So I have started to write on this blog, and one day, because I was putting this energy that I want to quit, one day, my female boss, I had a couple, she came to me and she said, you know, we have a big project in Georgia and I don't think we can keep you anymore because we have a lot of expenses. And when I heard her, my face light up. I said, okay, thank you so much. Let me hug you. Where do I sign? She was shocked. She was like, what? She didn't expected me to be so happy that I have just left the company. Yeah, so I was very, very happy. And I went home. And my mom, after a couple of days, came to me and said, what's happening to you? Since you quit your job, you're just waking up, you're full of energy, you're very happy to wake up at 7 and write on your blog. And until a couple of days ago, you are just fuming all the house because you have to live at work. I said, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to make this work. And I started to do all that blogging thing. And of course, it was hard because then my brother joined us as a family and he got a job. So we had a little bit more money to be able to move around this. And somehow I have this program in me, like of an easiness program, that I have been aware of it after many years. And I say, how can I tell people it's so easy? Because it's not that easy. But I was all the time, no, it's so easy. You can do it. I was like, you can do it. So this was the journey. So from the moment that nobody was hiring me until I started to do this analyzer thing and the boot camps, it was around 1 year.
1 year. And how did the shaman play a part in this? Because you mentioned that you were introduced to a shaman, but you didn't really.
Yeah, so I was doing therapy with them every week.
Right.
Every week they were doing, they're having conversations with me. They were doing clearings of my aura. They had the specific developed devices like tents, and you enter in them and they just clear your energy with devices and crystals, which for that time was really advanced. Now it's like everybody has that, but then it was at the beginning. So I started to work with them for 6 months, and then I said, okay, I'm ready to go on my own. And then all this time I was studying spirituality every day. I was meditating every day. It wasn't a day to do something, a clearing, a meditation. And somehow opening my channel, God started to channel information through me. So basically all of my programs that I have developed in my home country, but what I'm developing now, they're just channeled.
Okay. And what does that, I'm intrigued with all of that. I follow Abraham Hicks and Cryon, and I've read the Seth books. And what does that, and there's Lee Carroll, who's a British guy. I don't know if you know Lee Carroll. And they all talk about channeling, and Elizabeth April. Don't know if you know Elizabeth April. what does it feel like? How does it, is it sort of like, I know with Abraham, it's like blocks of thought and Esther says what she says. How does it come through for you?
It depends. It can be like I have a specific sound that I hear in my ears. And when I hear that sound, I know that my spirit guides want to communicate with me. So I sit down and I listen what they have to communicate. Sometimes I hear words, sometimes I see images, or sometimes I hear sound. So it depends. When I'm doing this for myself, sometimes I feel it like I know, like inside of my head, I know that feeling that I know this is the thing that I need to do. Or sometimes I just receive codes. So I was doing a specific meditation about how to build my brand. This was years ago, maybe at the beginning. And I said, please tell me what should I do with this brand? What color should I choose? And I remember, I don't know exactly the numbers, but I see an hashtag 4789. Okay, that's it. And I think, why shouldn't I Google this number? And I Googled that number, and it's a violet color,
Wow.
which became the color of my brand. I was like, wow, I love this. I want more. So when I channel for other people, basically I open a channel of light and I just start to read from their field, or I can read potentialities. I can read in the future, I can read in the present moment, or I can read things from the past.
Amazing. And so this sound that you hear and you think, right, okay, I need to take notice of what's going to come. I have you heard of the hum? People
Yes.
have, yeah. So I've had that for years. And I first noticed it was in this house, let's say, I don't know, 14 years ago, something like that. And it's just annoying. It's not giving me anything. It's just like this low hum. And sometimes it's really loud and sometimes I don't notice it at all. And then I have other times where all of a sudden, the pitch changes in your ear. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's the one that I have.
right, okay. So I noticed that, but then I hadn't noticed that there was anything worth taking note of after that sort of thing, because I know
But did you connect? Like, did you connect to that information?
that, no, see, this is why I'm asking you, because this is going to make me more aware the next time it happens. And I know that my intuition, I've been on a spiritual journey probably since 2006 when I lost my dad. But really it accelerated through my previous yoga teacher. Because I was in the spiritual closet, if you know what I mean. At the time I was corporate, ambitious, gonna rule the world, all of that sort of stuff. And being spiritual and ambitious didn't meet up as far as I was concerned. And so I was in the spiritual closet for ages, and my yoga teacher helped coax me out, basically. And now I'm loud and proud about it. I don't care, but and I've had ups and downs with my intuition. Like sometimes it's there all the time, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, depends a lot of the frequency that you are in,
Yeah,
because with all the things that I can do and I have learned during the time, I have sometimes when I go so low in frequency that I don't understand anything. I cannot channel, I cannot see, and I'm like, what is happening? What is this? And then I realized, okay, if I lowered that much myself in the frequency, that means I have something to clear that I cannot see from a higher vibration. So I need to go down and clear it. Fortunately, I have a co-therapist friend that we do energy work for each other, and that helps me a lot. Coming back to your hum, one easy thing that you can do, if you allow me to give you this advice, you can just sit down and open your channel. Just give that command. I open my channel. Please show me the information that I need to know now.
yeah.
And even if nothing is coming up, like you don't feel or see, you just give the order, show me clear. I want to see in words, I want to see, hear in sounds, and if you don't get anything still, then you say, okay, show me physical signs. So I was doing that when I was starting to train myself, because I was in a spiritual group, and there were many kind of people, advanced, beginners, and I was frustrated because the advanced ones were doing like big stuff and I wasn't. So I was doing this channeling, and then I went on the streets, and I was seeing specific words on the panels on the metro station, and I was, okay, this is the message. It's 3 times. I saw it 3 times. What do I need to do with this information?
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I do have that, where I'm drawn to whatever, and then I see it again and I see it again. But then I never make the connection in terms of, so rarely I'm like, okay, my dad's here. I always associate it with my dad's here and giving me comfort or whatever. But yeah, I don't very often make the association of what it's pointing to. Sometimes if it's obvious, but if it's not obvious, then yeah. So thank you for that, because it is something I know. I definitely lost my way. I didn't lose my way, but in the last relationship I was in, which was not for my higher good, I definitely, like you said, that lower vibration, being sucked down to that as opposed to staying up here. And so it feels like it's been blocked. It's not blocked. It's just, like you say, clear it. So thank you. I will. I do know people that can clear stuff. So that's probably what I need to do. Anyway, back to you. Sorry, we digress. So, okay, so you were doing the shaman, then you were opening up your own channeling. And then how did you go from writing a blog to then earning money for your vegan cooking and also then being on TV? How did that?
Oh my God, I had so many failures. So I was running this vegan thing for like 3 or 4 years, and one day it just crashed. Like everybody disappeared. It just closed. So I lost everything. But what happened before everything shut down? It was a pivoting moment. So on my one-to-one services, then I was offering this nutritional advice and these readings, but also I was doing clearing, meditation, emotional regulation, and all those stuff. And my clients started to come to my office and say, hey, don't be upset, but I don't want this nutritional thing. Can you just do meditation with me? And, okay, it doesn't bother me. So I was doing it anyway. So basically, my audience, my clients pivoted me from being doing the nutrition part to the spiritual part. Okay. So basically, when this nutrition thing collapsed, I was upset, of course, but also I knew I had something else to offer. And then I started to do meditation courses. I started to work on relationships, and I have channeled a lot of techniques and meditation. I have developed entire programs, but everything I do had a background component, which was spirituality. And that component is still in my life now. So everything I do, it doesn't matter what niche is it in, I do spirituality first. So if we work on business and we create a strategy, we need to look at the energy first, do the readings for it, see the obstacles, see how is your mindset, how can we shift that, and then we go to the system. Because you cannot change the system if the energy and the mentality are blocked. So when I was pivoting to this, I was starting to get clients. I was getting even more known in the country. I was more and more on TV, but still not making enough money. So I ended up in 2018, I think, yeah. I ended up again with 10,000 euros in debt. And I was really upset, and I started to cry and pray. And I remember the specific moment that I was praying to God. I said, God, this is not okay. You cannot give me such a big mission. You cannot give me so many things to do, but you don't give me the resources for it. I cannot move forward if you treat me like this. I was really upset. I said, please give me the right person to help me with this so I can move forward and I can make something with my life. And after I made this prayer, also I have done a lot of work, and I realized that actually what was happening, I was confusing God with my father. So I had to split those energies and understand that the authority father is gone. I'm over that. And God is going to give me everything I need and I want. And in a couple of days, I met a business mentor, and I went in a one-to-one call with her, a free call. And from the moment I opened the Zoom, I just started to cry. I was sobbing like, oh my God, all that call, I was crying. And I told her, look, I'm in debt, 10,000. I don't have money for your program, which is 10,000. But guess what? I'm going to join the program. I'm going to pay this deposit until you start, because the program was starting like in 2 months. And I'm going to do my best to make something out of it and out of my life. And somehow, after I paid that deposit, I just tuned in an energy, like maybe her frequency. And I have started to give free calls to other people too. And the people were coming like crazy, especially for relationships. The program was really good. I was offering them the 7 stages of a relationship, which is a concept that I have channeled, and I'm going to write a book for it in English also. And I ended up working with these people, and I ended up selling 30,000 euros per month.
Wow.
And by the end of that year, I went to paying my debts, buy myself the first MacBook Air, which I was really happy for.
Your first what, sorry?
MacBook Air. I never had an Apple laptop, so I bought my first laptop like an Apple.
Right, got you.
So I had laptops before, but not an Apple. So I took a pink one. It's the one that we are using right now. So I was really happy that at the end of that period, I have managed to do those things. And from there, I started to invest more and more in me, buying more programs and working with this mentor, because she was really good. And I knew she was sent from God, because she was into spirituality. Her vibration was really good. She was really supportive, and she was what I needed at the time to succeed. And then I continued to invest in other mentorship programs along with her. And I ended up being a 7-figure entrepreneur in my home country, in my home currency, which for me was shocking, because like being poor, having nothing, struggling 4 years, now being able to buy my dream home, a new car, giving money to my family. For me, it was amazing.
Remind me that conversation that you had with God, that you then realized was a conversation you were having with your father about, give me the tools, give me the abundance to do what I need to do. And then meeting that business mentor. What was the time frame? Can you remember?
In the same week, couple of days.
And did she just come about randomly, or did you go and seek her out?
No, I was seeking, like there were a lot of people in the area, big established brands. I had a few calls with some of those people. And I was reaching a guy that I was meeting 1 year before in London. I was in London to an event, I think for Success Resources, Tiv Harv Eckert's program,
Yes,
Millionaire Mind Intensive, which was very good for me. Like it helped me to shift a lot of energy around money. And there is a lot of crazy things that happened. I met the owner of the company. We became friends. I still have connection with her still this day. But I met a guy there who was doing marketing. So when I was in this, because now we are talking about it, but then the pain was really, really hard. Like I was crying, I was frustrated, I didn't like it. So I was texting this guy, say, hey, I know you're good at marketing. Can you help me with my business? And he texted me back and he said, hey, I don't know how to do business planning. I'm just doing marketing ads, so I cannot help you. But take this lady, work with her, have a free session, and see if she's the one for you. And it turned to be that she was the one for me.
Amazing. So, so you then, when you did her program and you were doing more and more spiritual stuff anyway, just naturally, how did it turn into 30,000 a month? Were you sort of doing like 6-month programs and things like that, or?
Yeah, so we had 6 months program. So basically, my program is called Becoming the One. So I take you through the stages of a relationship, but with specific spiritual energy work, mindset work, and practical things to do. So we have the breakup stage, dating stage. We have dating, breakup. We have those stages. So I take you to every stage and I tell you what to do in the dating stage and what energy work to do. I take you through the self-relationship stage where you need to work with yourself, and I tell you exactly what to do, how to clear everything with your parents, because I was already doing that work for me for years. Like it took me years to clear the things with my father, and I still find things to clear with him even now after all this time. So the program was a hybrid program. They have the courses recorded. So they go to the platform, they just take everything they need there and they do the meditations. Everything is for them to work anytime they wish. Then we have a weekly call where they can come and just ask me questions. And also they had a Facebook group support, and there, of course, if they are facing something, they can text me directly in the group without waiting the next week to have our group session. So this thing went very well. So I said, oh, okay, if this thing goes very well, now I have to go global. I want to go global. And I launched that. This was in 2020. I launched global, but I was launching a program for men, for masculinity, because I'm good on that. On my numerology chart, I have 3 of 1. That means I have a lot of masculine knowledge, so I can pass that. But somehow didn't work. Like nothing worked. And I stopped that program that was bringing me a lot of money monthly. I just stopped it. And I moved to this one, which was bringing me nothing. So somehow my energy pushed me back and said, you have to go back and you have to stop playing around. You have to stop playing small and you have to stop doing the things that are not for you. Relationship, it's not your zone of genius. Your zone of genius is spirituality. And from now on, you will work on spirituality. So I went back. I have created a spiritual community based on a membership. And in this community, they had to pay a monthly fee and they receive meditations, courses, and they have once a month a live meditation with me. And from that, I have created the Spiritual Studies Academy, where you come and you learn everything I know, all those 30 techniques like Reiki, all the grades, Karuna, Kuan Yin Goddess, Melchizedek Order, God Mary's Gift, and so on. And you just work through that and you learn all the techniques. And at the end, it was 1-year program on the same hybrid model as the relationships. And you just get all this information and you just transform yourself. And we had amazing results.
Amazing. I'm tempted myself. So is that something that's still, is that something that, are you okay? I've lost your video.
Yeah, I'm
So yeah, so as I said, I'm intrigued with that myself. Is that the program that's running now? And it's a year-long program?
No, the program has finished. It was 1.5 years because I'm talking about my local market. Now I have just launched globally. I'm new in the market. I barely know nobody. And I will tell you the transition points that I had to take, which were really hard, that I didn't expect it. So basically, I started the program And because I was doing a lot of energy work and I started to include Kundalini manifestation in my rituals, and I have created a very special ritual, I started to manifest very fast. And after I launched this program and people started to join like crazy, everybody wanted to be in it, I met my future husband.
Mhm.
We move in together, and 3 months later, I'm pregnant. So then we get married. So it's like, it's crazy how the things went so fast. So when I got pregnant, I stopped taking new clients because we're already full. We have maybe 100 or more in only one program and others in other programs. So basically, I stopped taking new clients, and I had to focus more on the pregnancy, because you know how it is to be pregnant, and it was a pregnancy with a lot of challenges for me. And of course, when you don't work specifically with power and intention on a project, it started to drop down, because of course you are going to create the baby that you have to create, which is, I'm telling this everybody, like, from all the success that I had, from all the manifestation that I have done, the baby is the most magical one. And the emotional connection and the love and the compassion that you get from this kid, it's something that you don't find even in the highest meditation you can do.
Yeah, beautiful. So, so Liam's a year old now. So what are you doing? You're going global and you're new to it, but what do you think that looks like?
It's very clear for me how it looks like. This I have a program. It's called the Blissful Leadership Program, which is going to be starting in autumn. We already started to promote the program, have the calls for it to see if we are a fit, and we already started the enrollment process. So basically, what I'm going to do in this program, I'm going to teach all the manifestation process that I have done, that you can have it and you can manifest whatever you want. So I have channeled, it's called the Blissful Leadership Matrix. And it's a matrix where it's in circles and you are in the middle. And from there starts the areas of your life. Because in my journey, I have discovered some things. I have pouring all my life into my community and my mission. I had no personal life. I was taking emails and calls all the time. I was always babysitting my team. And I realized that was a pattern that I took from my family, and it was projecting heavenly into my business. So I started to work and clear those matrices, and started to create this new matrix, the Blissful Leadership Matrix, where I have the right support and energy around me so I can fuel and be nurtured, and in the same time give to others. Because I was giving everything to others, I had no boundaries. And then I was expecting to receive back from where? From them, of course, because there was where I was pouring my energy. And guess what happened? No, because you are an authority somehow in their mind. You are an authority, and they want to see you the powerful one. They want to see you the one that is having a lot of power, the one that is the one who is nurturing. So as a leader, I realized that I don't have a space where to recharge myself except God, which I have that all the time. But I needed connection with people. So I have created this matrix, and maybe we will display a picture of it for your community. And in it, you are in the center. Then you are surrounded with the close family and the insiders, the ones that are interacting directly with your energy. That means the person you are sleeping in bed with, the children that you have, the people that are cleaning or babysitting for you. So those people have direct impact on your energy and the way you behave in the world. So for example, let's say you have a very important business meeting tomorrow. You are about to sign a very important contract, I don't know how many millions, and your partner starts to have a fight with you. And it just ruins your energy, your mood, your zen, and you just have to go there and show your best. Some people can do that. I can't, because I'm open the way I'm here, the way I'm at home, the way I cannot have a facade. So
Emotional. Yeah. Mm.
it's really important to have that. Then the next thing is the close friends and the family, the people that you have to interact in the next layer. These are the people that are partying with you, celebrating with you, but also your mastermind group. Because usually the family is not the one who has your vision. Let's be honest. Not our family members think that we can, like my mission now is to create a massive spiritual awakening globally. I don't think anybody in my family has that vision, so I cannot share it with them. They will destroy it. So I need to share with them only the visions that they can take. So then you need to have a mastermind group, people like-minded, people that think like you, people that encourage you, support you, and also your close friends. Who are those friends that are close to you? And I say there are 3 types of friends that you need to have. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
The first one is the one that always agrees with you. It supports you in everything you have done. It doesn't matter if it's good or wrong. He says, you are right, you are the best. It just pumps you up with energy. After you finished with that one and you realize, wait, I have a part in this situation, I need to fix it. You call the other friend who is the honest one and says, hey, this is the part where you got it wrong. You have to go and fix it. And you just go and fix it. And there are the social friends, like the ones that you have party with, you celebrate with, but they are not very inserted in your personal life. Like they are there, but not like the insiders and the very, very close friends. And only after these circles are met and formed, it's your business and your community. Imagine how far of like expanding. So after that, you start to nurture business community. Then you start to nurture the impact and the legacy that you want to leave. And the last circle is the divine integration. So when you work with divine integration in everything you do, you just have everything easier. Not like everything is butterflies, but you have the right tools to navigate through the challenges and transformations that are coming through your way. So this is the program about. We work around that for 1 year. We have support coaches. We have meetings, like working sessions. And most important, you have my special manifestation ritual with Kundalini.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds amazing. You said about sharing something on the screen. Is that an electronic thing, or have you got something that you
Yeah,
want?
I can share it with you if you want.
Let me just give you permissions. There you go.
Or I can send it to you and you add it as you wish.
It's up to you. If you've got it to hand, if not, we can do it afterwards.
Yeah, I think I have it.
So this is actually what you've just talked us through. This is the visual diagram, is it?
Yeah. Let me see if you can see the screen.
I can, yeah. I think I'm going to have to put my glasses on.
Yeah. So basically you are in the center. And
Yeah.
from that, all the ripples and all the effects that are happening in your life in this diagram, it's starting from you.
Yeah.
There is another way that the ripples are coming, and that's from the divine integration. Like God is sending you the waves and the energy and the blissful energy that you need to make it work. So basically, if the things are not working very well in an area of your life, you need to look at it and ask yourself, what frequency, matrix, or program that I have inherited is mirrored in this area. For example, in my business, it was mirrored the fact that I was poor and I had to continue to be poor until I have decided that that needs to shift. In my community, was mirroring the fact that I'm giving everything there, my love, my care. Of course, I couldn't create a family and getting married, because all my love energy was channeled wrong. So I had to understand that and work through it. So when you think about impact and legacy, you cannot build those if inside of you you're not centered and balanced. Not perfect, because nobody is perfect, and we will be in continuous transformation, but you need to create in yourself some new structures like certainty, power, confidence, capacity to lead yourself, capacity to lead your family, capacity to lead others. So this program is something like life-changing. And because it's life-changing, everything you get into this program is going to help you for the rest of your life. I mean, from all the techniques that I'm teaching, there are clients of mine coming after years and years and telling me, hey, I'm still using that meditation that you gave me. I'm still using that to do this, to obtain this or have this result. So it's really important to equip yourself with a set of tools that you can use in any moment in order to be the best version and to be in evolution and never settle for less than you are.
Nice.
Share.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, you know what, it makes perfect sense to me, because I've been trying to make it since my late 20s probably. And I used to be in a rock pop band, and thought I'd end up, you know, a bit like you wanted to be on TV, I wanted to be on stage. And then I basically got pregnant at 25 with my son, who's now 24. And obviously I had to pivot, and my priorities changed. And then with a responsibility that I felt towards my parents, quite similar to you, because they didn't have much money. I was on this, you know, trajectory of I'm going to make $1 million by the time I'm 30 and all this, which never happened. But I made certain inroads into certain things, but I never quite got to that pinnacle of where I was looking for. And with everything that I've been through, so I basically married a man that I didn't truly love and subsequently got divorced. And I know that the journey that I've been on to release that, and to also release, so I was in love with a guy that I met when I was 20, and that lasted over 20 years. I couldn't get rid of that, if you like. And having expelled everything, if you like, and released things, I know that all of that emotional baggage and that stuckness prevented me. So exactly what you've just said, it prevented me being able to be this free spirit, step into my genius, have the confidence and not feel like an imposter and all of that. So I completely resonate with everything that you've just shared there. And like you said, some people can just go, okay, and go to work and get on with it. I'm not that person either. And I'm amazed that people can do that. And then I think, well, maybe I've got it completely wrong, because if they can just switch off and, you know, and they're doing well, you know, they're earning decent money, that they seem to have it sorted or whatever, you know damn well they haven't. But it kind of makes you think, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I taking the long, hard road of emotions and releases and all of that sort of stuff, which I know you completely get because you've been doing it yourself. But I love the fact that you've got to this place now where you've created this, you know, abundance. And after the conversation with God, and I'm actually reading Conversations with God right now. It's a book I've been meaning to read for years, and for whatever reason I haven't, and I'm reading it now, and I'm absolutely loving it.
That's
and it's yeah, and it's actually making the whole manifestation thing a lot more transparent to me in terms of the way it's explained. So yeah, so thank you for sharing all of that. I just wanted to share that, like, everything you just shared, I was like, yeah, that's my life. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I promised you that I will give you some insight of this transition, because imagine me being in my country. Even now, I can go every week on TV. I have somebody to put me on. I can be on podcasts. So when I stepped into global, and it was at a new moon 3 months ago, when something with Uranus happened. I don't know, because I don't know astrology, but for sure that was a thing. I was just pushed. You have to go globally. I knew I can create things, but then I faced something that I forgot. Like, nobody knew me, like what I do now. Because imagine, like, you are in your place, you know everybody, you're having fun, things are going great, and then you go to another city or another country, and you're maybe, let's say, in a train station or in an airport, and you just don't know anybody, so you have to start from somewhere. So it was really um, difficult in terms of adapting. I saw in my meditation so many structures rebuilt and upgraded, even though they were the same things. They need to have a different vibration and a different energy. So basically, this is how can I say? I'm super excited. I know where I'm going to be. I know I'm going to be all over the world. I know my books will create that massive spiritual awakening that I'm talking about. And I know by myself that what I say, I do. I have a friend, and I had a day where my confidence was really low. I was after giving birth, and it wasn't my best day. I was breastfeeding also. And I was like, I didn't tell her, hey, my confidence is low, because we don't do that. We just meet friends. But I was really low with that day. And that friend says, I'm sure you're going to make it. I was like, what? Where is that confidence coming from? Because everything you said, you did. You told me you're going to do a retreat. And this program that I just presented to you, we did it as a physical retreat, and the results were amazing. Like, I had a client, she manifested $50,000 while we were on the retreat. The other one, she came like, my daughter just called me. We have 11 clients in the shop, and she doesn't know what to do with them. She was doing brokerage or insurance or something like that. So many things. And she said, everything you said that you're going to do, you did it. You said you're going to get married, you got married. You said you're going to do this business, you did it. You said you're going to do that, and you did it. So I have no doubt that you will make this work. I was like, you're right. I was like, she's right. Everything I said, I did it. So I think this is one of the most important programs that you install in your subconscious mind. Like, every time I say something and I feel it's aligned with me, I take all the action necessary for it to make it happen. So I know somehow the journey and the end picture, but there is a journey to follow. And I'm the kind of person that never settles for less, because I feel always that I haven't reached my potential yet.
Yeah, and I definitely know you haven't. Everything you've shared with me, and like your friend said, you've achieved everything you set out to do and more, and been, have you ever read The Surrender Experiment with Michael Singer?
No, that one, no. I was more into deep esoteric literature, like
Okay.
more on shamanism, on Shambhala,
Yeah.
Reiki, all those things. On manifestations, I wasn't that much, because somehow I was manifesting. But then when I got a spiritual coach and she showed me another level of manifestation, like, oh my God, this has to go bigger. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, so you remind me. So his story is basically he surrenders to the universe, and pretty much what is presented in front of him, even if there's resistance at times, he goes with it, and that's how his life just goes from being hippie in the woods to this craziness. And he's a huge spiritual teacher, and he's big. Tony Robbins is a big fan, and people like that, and So yeah, so you just remind me of that. And it's almost like you're so laid back and relaxed about things. And I'm sure that's not always the case, but you know, and because you've got this whole manifestation Kundalini process that you've cultivated, if you like, for want of a better phrase, over the last few years, and it's worked for you. It seems to me that you will just have this intention and it will happen. Simple.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure it's gonna happen. That doesn't mean the challenges are not there.
Mm.
That doesn't mean the challenges are not there. And I want people to understand and don't forget that. Because when everything goes, oh my God, amazing, and the things are working, you will think that you'll never get challenges again. Because you have all those techniques and all
That's
this high
right.
vibration,
Yeah.
and you just forget about it. But then the life comes and said, hey, remember, you didn't change this matrix from your parents where you
Yeah,
carry
yeah.
everybody on your shoulders. How would you want to make a spiritual massive awakening globally? Would you be able to carry 8 billion people on your shoulders? No. So you have to go and do the work. Then because me and my husband, we got very fast together. In my mind always was like, I meet my husband in 2 months, we get married. It was like that, like very fast. We had to go through all the relationship stages, and one of those sevens that I was talking before, it was the confrontation, which is the hardest one, because you have to align with the partners in values, and you have to see what he wants, what you want. You have to stay on your feminine place, he has to stay on his masculine place, and if the things are not set correctly, there are a lot of conflicts, and life is just never stop surprising you.
Absolutely. Florentina, there is so much more I'm sure that we could talk about, but for the purposes of this particular episode, how can, I'm going to draw it to a close, how could people that have resonated with your story and you know what you're about to embark on, where's the best place for people to go to find out more about you and be able to get in touch with you?
I think they can go on Facebook, florentinagionea.com, Florentina Gionea on Facebook, but I'll give you a link because my name is not, you don't spell it the way you write it, so it's going to be a bit difficult to find me. Or my website, it's florentinagionea.com, and they can just text me or give me a message and say, hey, I saw you at the podcast. How are you? I want to talk to you. I'm interested. And from there, we can go in a one-to-one call. Usually, I have a refundable fee because I want people to be serious on it. But if they are coming from your podcast and they tell me it's from you, then they just can get in without having that fee.
Okay.
So I will have a one-to-one session with them. We'll start to know each other, and if we are a fit, we are moving together. I want to take only the yes people, the one that are really feeling the resonance, because in the past I was choosing to work with the people who were willing, very, very strong, but they weren't prepared, and we had a bit of difficulty during the journey. So now I want just to cultivate the energy for the right people, so we can have a chat, we can discuss and see how is their energy, their need, what they want to achieve, and if the program is for them, I would love to take them on board.
Okay, brilliant. And before we wrap up, one final thing you feel called to share with the listeners, anything at all?
And listen to your soul. I think creating a strong connection with your soul, it will help you to feel that you are doing the things right. It will help you to understand that you're not here for nothing. It will help you to understand that each person on this earth has something to do. And the spiritual awakening that is coming on the next level is going to need everybody. And it's not going to be like it's now. There are people who are teaching this, and there are people who are mentoring or coaching spirituality. We will reach a point where all the people will have the tools to coach them spiritually and do the things That doesn't mean the coaches and mentors will disappear. They will just go to another level and bring new information. But the way I see it is like, you need to have the tools to understand yourself, to love yourself, to evolve spiritually, and also to be able to help when it's necessary.
Okay, love that. Yeah, because it is like, I know it's coming, you know, this whole 3D, 5D, and the awakening that is already happening around the planet. It's just not happening as quickly as we want. But yeah, I've often wondered, once people, you know, it's like in Conversations of God, we're not on a journey of learning lessons, we're on a journey of remembering who we truly are. And there's a very subtle difference, but a difference all the same. Well, it's a big difference, but it's subtle as well. And so, yeah, I've often wondered, you know, if all of a sudden everybody was enlightened and everybody can, you know, do the whole third
that would be
eye.
amazing. Like, I want to write a book about how that would be. It's in my plan. That would be amazing. If everybody would be a spiritual awakened, oh my God. Only from there we will start to see the real power of spirituality.
Absolutely. Oh, well, Florentina, it's been an absolute joy, truly, to have you on. I love your energy. You're just smiling all the time. You look 10 years younger than you are. I want some of your energy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast, and your energy. It's absolutely amazing. I think you have an amazing spiritual potential, and you can manifest it as such, because I just know it. And
I like that.
this conversation with you was so easy and so joyful, and I feel like I'm light up from all these things that we have shared together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much.